my friend, are you a small business owner that loves God, family, country, and capitalism? If so, you're in the right place. This is a War Plan Briefing. My name is Joshua Latimer. Thank you for being here. I'm going to serve you. Can I bend over backwards and over-deliver for you? Would that be okay? What if I told you in the next few minutes, really quickly, how you can literally double your profit if you have a local business, if you have a home service business, that type of a company? I'm going to show you 4 moves you can make that literally can double your profit, at least, for $0. It might sound fictitious. It might sound like a ruse, like a fraud. It's really true. I'm going to prove it to you, and it's going to make sense in just a minute. So back when I started my first real company, my best friend at the time was a guy named Wes. Wesley's amazing. He just kind of moved. We went different places. Like, he's amazing. So shout out to you, Wes, if you ever see this. But he had a tree company, and he let me share his office. Now, when I say he let me share his office, what it really means is he had a closet, and he let me put a desk with a laptop in his closet, but it wasn't even big enough just for him. So we were both in this tiny closet, and Wesley literally worked 7 days a week, 16 hours a day. It sounds impossible. It's not. I watched him do it for a couple of years. I was trying to get my business off the ground, and Wesley would be sleeping in the closet every day, basically. And he had a wife and kids. It was insane. And pretty quick in his business, he got up to about $500,000 a year in revenue, which in the tree business isn't that much because the equipment is so expensive and the ticket price is expensive. But I remember asking Wesley one day, I'm like, how much are you actually keeping from all this? How much money are you really making? And he didn't know. He was just such in a it's called a hedonic rut, but his brain was just trained to like work, go fast, work. And he was like Groundhog's Day. A couple years went by, and so we sat down and we figured it out. And here's the bottom line. He was making about $45,000 a year. And when we reverse engineered how many hours he worked to get the $45,000 a year, it was like the equivalent of $4 or $5 an hour. Okay. And I remember I wrote a note and I stuck it on his computer and I said, is this worth it for $5 an hour? ? Because I was watching him thinking, God, I don't want that. And another way to think about this is to remember that revenue is for vanity and profit is for sanity. Would you rather have a business where you make $100,000 for yourself as your paycheck, okay, per year, and you work 1 hour a week and you have 3 customers, okay? Would you rather have that, or would you rather make $150,000 a year in income, but you have 30 customers and you work 45 hours a week? You know, most people would choose scenario A. And it's not because they don't want more money. It's because the human brain automatically knows it's a better deal to get the big reward with less effort. That's what I want for you. So when I talk about increasing your profits, it's really important, especially if your company is really small, because if your margins, if your profit is not big enough right now, you can't scale to get big. And it's not because of the reasons you think. It's not because you won't have enough money to buy the next truck, although that's part of it. It's because the future business that you are running right now has unrealized costs that you're not paying for yet. And if you're running out of your home, or you have some storage units, or you just have a small kind of junky closet that you're running your business out of, the $2 or $3 or $5 million version of your company right now, it's going to have like HR expenses and legal expenses, more sophisticated types of insurances and umbrella policies and all kinds of stuff. You're going to have other perks for your employees. Maybe there's a cell phone reimbursement. Maybe you pay for a gym membership. You're going to turn into a real company at some point. That's what I want for you. And so your profit, especially when you're small, needs to be enormous so that you can absorb those future expenses. And the ironic part of all of this is that truly it's harder to run a company doing, $500,000 or less. It's like way harder to run those smaller companies than it is to run really big companies. It's not even close. It actually gets easier as you scale. There's different types of pressures and challenges, yes, but it's actually easier. So anyway, the first thing you're going to want to do is understand frequency. So depending on what type of service you have, what kind of business you have, this applies to almost all businesses, but not literally all of them. Frequency is something that people don't think about. It's a big deal. My mom is over here. She was watching me on Facebook Live because I'm doing it on Facebook Live. She was a hairdresser for years, a cosmetologist. So shout out to all my cosmetologist people. I grew up in a hair salon surrounded by women. And I remember years ago when I was starting to read Rich Dad, Poor Dad and stuff, try to figure out how do you make more money, Mom? How do we do this? How do we do that? And one of her systems had to do with frequency. So when she's done doing $200, $300 worth of color and hair stuff for this client, their next appointment was scheduled before they left the building, right? Small companies don't do this. They don't do it enough. They don't focus on it. They don't emphasize it. They don't train for it. They don't have 2 or 3, backup plans to make sure it happens. That by itself can increase the value of your customer. If you have a restaurant and someone eats there every 2 weeks and you can get them to eat there once a week instead, you've doubled the lifetime value of that client. You've increased the frequency, right? If you clean windows 1 time per year and you get them to do it 2 times per year, you've increased frequency. Now, not everyone will want to do it 2 times per year, but what if out of all of the revenue you did in the last 12 months, what if I could add 20% of more revenue just from frequency? That means 1 out of 5 of your people do it 1 extra time per year, right? It means 4 out of 5 of the people don't do it 1 extra time per year. Frequency is a huge deal. Jay Abraham's one of the highest paid business consultants. He's been around forever. I think he charges $50,000 a day plus equity in your company just to talk to him. And the first thing out of his mouth when you get consulting for him is, how do we collapse time on frequency? How do we get people to buy more often? Because rather than hiring an agency, doing another 20 grand in direct mail, spending money on all these things you could spend money on, what if we used our brain and we thought, what sentence can we say when we do the service that would get 1 out of 5 people to do another service in the year? Like inventing that sentence can make you hundreds of thousands of extra dollars by itself, okay? That's just the first thing. The second thing you need to do, the second dial you can move, is referrals. When I talk about referrals, people's brain shuts off. And the reason their brain shuts off is because they think incorrectly, falsely, they think they already understand that. They think they're already doing that. They think, oh, yeah. I'm already doing that. No, really? Are you? I don't think so. Almost nobody is actually leveraging referrals to the max. And referrals are free. And let me tell you some of the benefits of referrals. If you have a system, if you have choreography, if there is protocols and processes in place in your company, multiple different ways, multiple touches, and there's reasons why the customer should care, you can 10x your referrals, and it's literally free money. But here's the reason referrals are different than normal leads that you get. A referral, number one, a referral is warm. A referral is borrowing the trust of some other person you made happy when they call you. They're already warmed up through the borrowed trust of this other person that you served when they show up to you. That's why referrals in almost all industries have a higher close rate. They have a higher average ticket. They have a higher profit margin. But you want to know something most people don't know is that referrals are more likely to give you referrals. I heard a quote one time. It says, how you get them is how you got to keep them. And this was about like girls in high school dressing promiscuously. It's like, don't do that. It's a bad idea, because how you get them, how you attract the boy is how you got to keep the boy. Like, you want to get them because of your honor and because of your brain and because of your personality, and not just because of your miniskirt, right? When it comes to business, how you get them is how you're going to keep them. Well, referrals, if they come to you as a referral, they're more likely to bring you more referrals because that's the frame they came in through. It's easier. I call it referral inception. You ever see the movie Inception? It's like referrals have babies. You get 100 referrals, higher close rate, higher average ticket, higher profit, easier to cross-sell, easier to upsell, probably easier to get them to do more frequency because anyway. But then those 100 referrals turn into 62 additional referrals. Now it's like a multi-level marketing thing. Like your business can become a pyramid scheme, right? You get 100 referrals at the top that turns into 86 more that turn into, that's the point. So referrals. So if you collapse time with frequency and you 10x your referrals just by using your brain, we haven't spent any money here, people. Okay. We haven't spent $1 yet. We're only using creative thinking. And if you need to rent a Best Western for 48 hours to go think through these thoughts, it will pay dividends for you for years. The third thing has to do with average ticket. So your average order value, your average ticket. How many brand new dollars does a brand new shiny customer give you on average? If you did $1 million and you had 1,000 service appointments last year, that means each appointment was worth $1,000 to you, because 1,000 appointments times $1,000 equals $1 million in revenue. You need to figure out what your average ticket is. Then we need to use our brain. It's very easy. I'm going to tell you how right now to increase the average ticket. How do we do it? There's lots of ways to do it. I'll just give you a couple ideas. Number one, we're going to make sure we're always selling packages and bundles of services rather than a la carte services. Now, the service industry in general has done a way better job of this the last 5 years. 10 years ago, almost no one was doing it. Now, most people are doing it. If you're not doing it, you must hate money. Do not sell carpet cleaning, yes or no. Do you want to buy my carpet cleaning, yes or no? Don't do that. Say we have 3 packages for carpet cleaning: good, better, best, gold, silver, platinum, whatever. Or I guess it'd be silver, gold, platinum, or I don't know. It doesn't matter. The point is, have packages that automatically will raise your average ticket. The other thing you want to do is create a higher ticket package. You need to have a high ticket offer for your stuff. If you're a carpet cleaner and you get $300 every time you clean carpets, we need to have like an $800 package that exists, that is presented to your customers. And there's a couple reasons why you want to do that. Every single time you sell. Number one, it's going to anchor them to a higher price, and it makes your $300 normal price seem like a really cool, good deal, right? Number one. The second reason you want to do it is some people actually buy it, and that average goes up for your average ticket across the board, right? So every time you're doing a sale, every time you're doing this, you're thinking, how do I increase the frequency? How do I get more referrals out of this person? And how do I take my $1,000 average order value and get it to $1,200? Because what you're doing is you're literally creating money with your brain. That's what you're doing when you do this, when you think like this. Most people are so busy living in Groundhog's Day that they literally, like my friend Wes, right? He was just doing the same thing over and over. They literally can't see that there's money all around them. So open your eyes, it's right there. And then last but certainly not least is to manipulate your pricing. If you have a local business, I recommend a lot of people use supply and demand pricing. What that means is that your prices change. They go up and they go down with the demand curve. You know, you don't make the same amount of money every month for most home service businesses. You know, you probably have a revenue curve where it's like, here's the winter, we're all poor. Oh my God, I'm rich. And then it goes down, and then it goes up in the fall, and then you're poor again, right? And so the money's coming in at different times in different amounts. And so we need to charge higher prices when demand is high. It's okay if your close rate goes down to 50%, 40%, 30%, 20%, it's fine if you're getting ridiculous prices and you're still filled up on your schedule. If you're at capacity, your price should go up to an unlimited amount. Okay, an unlimited amount to just keep your capacity full. And then when the phone stops ringing and you're not as busy, we go back to all these people that we priced really high that said no, and we discount it and say, hey, our schedule opened up, we can get in there, it's this much off, it's this much off. That's the way that you do that. Most people do everything backwards. Small companies, they spend money on marketing when no one wants to buy. So when they're poor, they hire agencies and buy direct mail but no one wants to buy. And then when they get busy, they stop marketing. And then they never raise their prices. Are you crazy? I actually have a full training where I break down this formula. It's called FRAP, frequency, referrals, average ticket, and pricing. You can watch it. It's free. I'll have Will put a link somewhere. I don't even know what URL to tell you to go to, but we'll put a link below this video if you want to watch it, where I break down the math behind this, because you can literally almost double your revenue and 2.5 to 3 times your profit, what you get to keep by doing these things even a little bit. And I break down the whole math. Look, just remember this. You're always going to make more money with your brain than you ever will with your back. And so if you're stuck, if you're struggling, if you want a bigger result, don't automatically assume that the answer to that is more pain and suffering and labor from you. It's probably not. We need less labor from you and more thinking from you. And it's not that you're not capable of thinking, you are, but you're overworked, underpaid, you're stressed out, you have so much responsibility. And I totally get it, because it's really hard. But if we can get you up to $1 million plus, things get so much easier. And you're going to get there a lot faster if you understand how to think asymmetrically. I hope this is valuable to you and your head didn't explode, or if it did explode, it was in a good way. Let me know your thoughts. Type comments. Let me know where you're from. Like, subscribe. Share this with someone. Share this with your friend who's lovable but totally broke and needs help. We got to help that boy, right? Maybe this video can help them. I'm here to serve you. What videos do you want me to make in the future? Type in the comment. I will read it. I'll reply back to it. And until next time, see you in the next video. Hey, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you watched, click the video on the left to watch the previous upload. And if you want one of my personal favorites, click the video on the right. And of course, don't forget to hit the middle to subscribe so you never miss an upload. Thank you again for being on this journey with me.